In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Ford's biggest mistake in the 2000s in the V8 Supercars, right after when they kind of sort of fixed their mess with the AU Falcon. So today, we're going to be talking about why Ford decided to cut factory support from one of their strongest teams in the late 2000s. Let's get right into the video.
This weekend has been all about farewelling the great man, Peter Brock, the friend and mentor to Craig Lowndes. This will be a huge outpouring of emotion. 10 years in the waiting. Lowndes and Whincup do it. That is an incredible motor race.
Job, mate. Unbelievable.
And they have done the double. Courtney second.
Hasn't happened in 25 years, but these guys are the enduro experts. A three-peat for Team Vodafone, Craig Lowndes and Jamie Whincup. Was to wrap it up today so they could have fun tomorrow. Well, right now, let the party begin for Jamie Whincup because he's the champion. And he celebrates with a big slide across the line here at Oran Park.
It all started back in 2002 to 2003. The founder and CEO of AAA Race Engineering all the way in the UK decided he wanted a slice of V8 Supercars, and his name was Roland Dane. He tried to buy the Walkinshaw-owned Holden Racing team, but unfortunately he failed. So then, he ended up buying John Briggs Motorsport before 2003, and in 2003, Team Better Electrical debuted in V8 Supercar. It was the two drivers who were driving were Paul Radisich and Dean Canto. Surprisingly, the team didn't really have great results in the first year. Paul Radisich finished 10th place in the championship for this brand new team, while Dean Canto ended 24th place in the whole season. The team's standout performance came at the Adelaide 500, where Radisich somehow secured that car in a strong 4th place. Despite his speed and skill behind the wheel, Radisich often struggled with his car, simply lacked the pace, and was a challenge to compete with the front runners consistently. In 2004, Paul Radisich and Max Wilson raced for the newly established V8 Race Engineering team in the Ford V8 Falcon. Radisich finished the season in 19th and in the championship, and Wilson ended up in 28th position. Despite the challenges of developing a new car, the team showed signs of promises. Radisich, of course, claimed his first podium at Pukekohe at New Zealand, and later got a second place finish at Eastern Creek. That was his last drive for AAA and Ford in V8 Supercars. Demonstrating his speed and experience, Wilson achieved a pair of 5th place finishes, showing steady improvement as the season progressed. While both drivers showed flashes of pace, the car lacked the consistency and outright speed needed to be changed, as the front runners regularly would just completely gap them. For Radisich in particular, it was a season mix of frustration and wins. Not really wins, but podiums. A talented driver held back by machinery that was just not fast at all. Overall, this year, AAA got its first 2 podiums, but in 2005, things would change. In 2005, AAA underwent a major transformation, signing Craig Lowndes and Stephen Ellery, and upgrading its engineering package. The result was a breakout year. Lowndes secured multiple wins and podiums, and the team scored its first major endurance win at the Better Electrical 500 at Sandown. The team finished third in the team's championships, and for the championship, the team had an issue with the pit stop, that which ended up giving a penalty, and Lowndes did not win the championship. Instead, the championship went to Russell Ingall at Stone Brothers Racing, with that team winning its 3rd championship, but except with a new champion, Russell Ingall. But in 2006, something special would be happening for Triple Eight. In 2006, the momentum carried on. Lowndes, joined by the new driver Jamie Whincup, delivered big wins, including the prestigious Bathurst 1000, securing Triple Eight's first victory at Mount Panorama, and Lowndes and Whincup winning more further rounds. The team further cemented its reputation challenging for the championship, but lost at the final round at Phillip Island and lost the championship, but underlying that the leap made in 2005 was no fluke. 2006 was also one of the most memorable seasons for Craig Lowndes, as he won the Bathurst for his longtime friend Peter Brock, who unfortunately died in 2006 in a crash. This win was a very emotional win and something Lowndes would never forget, and it was also a Ford's first Bathurst win in the 2000s since 1998, winning with Jason Bright and Stephen Richards. This race will forever cement itself as one of the most emotional races in V8 Supercars. In 2007, Triple Eight was firmly established as one of the elite and top teams. The driver lineup remained the same strong driver lineup, Craig Lowndes and Jamie Whincup, and the team's consistency improved, Craig Lowndes adding 6 wins in the 2007 season. The team claimed at least 2 major endurance victories, Sandown 500 and the Bathurst 1000, with Team Vodafone doing the double. Lowndes and Whincup Jamie Whincup finished second in the championship with Garth Tander, taking the championship, but 2008 was a different season. 2008 was a very strong year for Team Vodafone, because one of their drivers, Jamie Whincup, has won the Drivers' Championship. And not only that, Lowndes and Whincup has won their 3rd Bathurst 1000 together. This won Triple Eight's very first championship, and with winning another championship for Ford, and also Ford has now had 3 Bathurst wins in this whole decade, which is a fantastic feat. But in 2009, something different would emerge, and news would break completely different. In 2009, Triple Eight continued to dominate with the Ford Falcon, but this time they had the brand new generation, the FG Falcon. But there was something people realized that was unusual from the normal Triple Eight cars. The Ford logos and sponsors were all gone, and in the front, instead of a Ford logo, it was a logo of the Hog's Breath Cafe. Turns out Triple Eight was cut by Ford from factory support, and they were about to change manufacturers, that we will talk later in the video. Whincup had won 11 races in the whole season, and also not only that, winning the championship for the 2nd time. The 2010 season was a major turning point for Triple Eight Race Engineering, as the team switched from Ford to Holden after losing factory backing. Despite concerns, the move proved immediately successful. Jamie Whincup and also Craig Lowndes now driving. Craig Lowndes was driving Marscaped together in Enduros. They have won 2 Bathurst wins with the Holden Vodafone team, but later it was rebranded to the Red Bull Racing Australia. But before we talk about that, we must first talk about why Ford cut down support from Triple Eight. In 2008, Ford cut down its support teams down to 3 teams: Stone Brothers Racing, Dick Johnson Racing, and Ford Performance Racing. The factory team, and Ford Performance Racing, the factory team, and Brightech only ran that car for 1 more year in 2009. But the one thing is, Roland Dane was not happy when Ford lied to Roland Dane, saying that they would renew the contract from 2009 to above. And above for the FG Falcon, Ford changed their mind and never told Triple Eight, so it would not intervene with the FG Falcon development, but Triple 8 were committed to running the FG Falcon. So from 2009, they only received parts and panels from Ford. Triple 8 also got rid of the Ford emblems and anything to do with the blue oval, and the Ford logo was placed with the Hogs Cafe logo. That Hogs themselves offered 250 grand to run the badge on the Falcon Triple 8 car. And also, they would not run the Ford logo due to Ford not backing up the team or even paying money. But halfway through the Triple 8's running that FG Falcon, they revealed that it's going to go to Holden and drive the VE Cobra next year. The reason why Ford stopped supporting Triple 8 because the car was not blue, that meant it was not in the Ford colors. But Triple 8 honors their sponsors and paints the sponsor color, that at this point is Vodafone, that is red/orange color. So Triple 8 decided to move to Holden as they were offering factory support, and it was better for Triple 8. This was Ford's biggest mistake, as they were choosing to portray one of their best teams simply because they did not have their car painted blue, while some other Ford teams did not even paint their car blue. This was one of Ford's biggest mistakes, and this is something that would go down in the history books for Ford doing the dumbest strategy ever. Ever since Triple 8 moved to Holden, they have won more than 7 championships with Holden and taken a total winning of 6 Bathurst wins with Holden. But in 2023, Triple 8 moved to Chevrolet as Holden was officially gone from the sport and was shut down. The Chevrolet Camaros end up winning 1 Bathurst win with Triple 8 and also 1 championship with Will Brown. And Brock Feeney this year is currently the championship leader in the AAA Camaro. That which they're going to be very close to winning the championship. But recently, in early 2025, Triple 8 / Red Bull Ampol Racing have announced they're going to return back to Ford with, of course, no longer a Falcon, but with a Mustang. After 15 years of Triple 8 not being with Ford. This was a big turning point, as there's a lot of loyal GM fans that stick with Triple 8s. For me, I am personally excited as I get to see this team finally go back to Ford, and maybe one day they can emulate the success as just they did with the good old days. But unfortunately, we still have no Falcon. But I'm very excited to see what comes in the future ahead for Red Bull Ampol Racing, and for them going back to Fords. Thanks for watching the video. If there's anything that I missed in my documentary, or there's a lot of imperfections, which are, of course, since this is my first documentary, so yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, and yeah, peace.
Foot for the next couple of minutes or anything like that?
No, I get in the right side of the car every time. That's the only thing I do. But hey, fingers crossed. As I say, I'm a little bit nervous.
Let's watch your buddy go to work here.
Thanks, mate.
This mountain is a part of this man. There's no question about that. Craig Lowndes absolutely loves coming here. The crowd loves seeing him here. Up the front straight, onto the Petters Mountain straight.
It's a beautiful entry on the pit straight, and it slid up on top of the ripple strip, and it was just perfectly timed. Tried to do the same thing at turn 1, just fractionally wide of the ideal line, but strong start to the lap for Craig Lowndes, and he put a lot of time and effort into actually fiddling with the brake bias control in the car so that he could get the right level of temperature in the front and rear brakes, and he put a lot of work into trying to heat up those tyres and get the pressures right for the start of the lap.
Warm-up lap was an indication this is going to be a cracker. We had a radar problem. I've grabbed the local copper. We've got a new radar, so we're red hot.
52.4 is the first marker. He's underneath it by 0.3 of a second. That was unbelievable.
And so
that section.
He's another couple of Ks up on the last guys. He's going.
He's going all right, Larko. Puffs of smoke everywhere. Team Vodafone, Brains Trust, look on.
It looks committed without being wild, doesn't it? He's right on the very edge. I don't think you get any more out of it. The conditions are still patchy up there, but it's a really aggressive lap. And the car's still straight. Straight meaning not sliding all over the road. Well, we have a bit of trouble stopping it there into Forest Elbow, and quite a lot of bites at the wheel. There's the second marker, and it's 0.3 up. It's a great lap so far for Craig Lowndes. Perhaps the conditions are improving, but certainly the early part of the lap was beautiful, and it was a lot more control at McPhillamy.
Claimed his first pole at the mountain in 1995 in a Holden. 10 years later, got his second in a Ford. We know that this will be the last time for the Blue Oval and Craig Lowndes together. In the near future anyway. They're moving to the General's man, and he moved just a little bit too far over. A bit of dirt on the rear of car 888. He is pushing it to the max. 2:08.8 is the time to beat. 2:08.2 is Lowndes' time.
He only just got it stopped there into the final corner. Craig Lowndes, beautiful lap, well done.
Yeah, thanks, Cropley. Jesus, tough conditions. So really, the guys did a magnificent job. We weren't completely happy with it this morning, but really it shows now that what a depth this guy's Team Vodafone have got.
Just talk a little bit more about those conditions at the top, Craig. You negotiated that misty, wet stuff up near Metal Grate and McPhillamy beautifully. You're able to keep the car straight, but it must have been a bit nerve-wracking knowing how much to commit to it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that really for us, we had a good look at obviously Russell, Murph, the Kelly brothers and those guys to get a good indication about where we wanted to be, position the car and obviously not get into that sort of damp patch to obviously have problems in the next corner. But I got to say it was pretty hairy where I am right now under Solomon down into Reed. It was pretty 110 concentration.
Well, it's a great job. Well done. You've got a 6/10 margin at the moment. P1. Keep your fingers crossed. Well done.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.